To know where the internet is going, you have to know where it's been. Every episode will examine the sites, terms, and personalities that have defined the online world. So strap on your chrono belts, time cadets. It's time to take a trip to the Old Wide Web. Episode 6. Psst, the Jargon File. Hi, I'm Bill Meeks, and welcome to another episode of Old Wide Web. I'm here to teach you the history of the internet. Whether you're a newbie or an old tech head, I'm going to give you an overview of how the internet evolved into what it is today. In today's episode, we're going completely off format. I had a really cool guest lined up for you guys this week, and they ended up having a prior commitment. We're going to get to them in a couple weeks, but I was stuck without an episode. I hemmed and hawed and thought and went over a couple concepts that I had planned for future weeks, and decided that this week I was going to do a game show. Now don't worry, we'll still have Progs and the old website of the week at the end of the episode, but for now, lay back in your easy chair and enjoy this fun quiz program based on the internet's famous Jargon File. And now it's time for everybody's favorite internet quiz game show. What the heck does that mean? Hello, and welcome to What the Heck Does That Mean, the vocab game show where we quiz our contestants on their knowledge of internet slang. I'm your host, Bill Meeks, and like always, we have two contestants ready to play our game. During the coin toss backstage, they were designated as Player 1 and Player 2. Player 1, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Bill. My name's Aaron Ryder, and I am a salesman from Washington.
What kind of stuff do you sell?
Consumer electronics.
Consumer electronics. Well, that must be pretty interesting. Okay, Player 2, why don't you tell us the skinny on you?
Hi, Bill. I'm Robert Villegas, and I'm a podcaster.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'll be sure to check out your podcast. What's it called?
The podcast would be My So-Called 8-Bit Life, and you can check it out at mysocalled8bitlife.com.
Wonderful. Okay, now here's how we play our game. Starting with Player 1, I'll be giving you an old internet slang term along with 4 possible definitions. Choose the right answer and get a point. Choose the wrong answer, and Player 2 will have the chance to steal for 2 points. And back and forth will go all the way through to the final round. The winner of today's contest will receive a sketch of their favorite internet celebrity hastily drawn by me at some point in the near future. Any questions, guys?
No, ready to go.
Let's rock and roll.
All right, let's start the game. Okay, the first term is AOL exclamation point. Now, this was commonly used on Usenet, and your options are A, an acronym for Assault Old Losers, B, a generic way to say me too, C, a rhyming synonym for go to hell, or D, a generic way to explain network difficulties. For example, sorry I dropped off there, AOL.
Oh, man. I am going to go with D for the last one.
And you're absolutely wrong. Okay, Player 2, would you like to steal?
Can I get the options again really quick?
Sure. Okay, A, an acronym for Assault Old Losers. B, a generic way to say me too. C, a rhyming synonym for go to hell. Or D, a generic way to explain network difficulties. For example, sorry I dropped off there, AOL.
I'm going to go with C then.
C, and Player 2, you now have 2 points. Woo!
What?
All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the second term here. Okay, Player 2, the term is channel hopping, and it was commonly used in chat. Your options are A, rapidly switching channels on IRC or other chat services. B, connecting several chat rooms together in sequence to create a hybrid chat room. C, a way to refer to a busy chat room, i.e. this channel is hopping. Or D, getting thrown into an overflow chat room because the main one is full.
Oh, let's go with A.
And another correct answer from Player 2.
I knew that.
Okay, player one, you got to get in the game here. The term is humma, and again, it was commonly used in chat. That's humma, H-U-M-M-A. Your options are A, a slang term for hummer, B, used to greet a lady, a misnomer for homina homina, C, used to fill space when you couldn't think of anything to say, or D, a program used to auto-reply to key phrases in a chat room.
Oh my gosh, I knew the second one. I don't know this one. I don't know. A. Is it A? It's not A, is it?
Is that your final answer? Would you like me to repeat them for you?
Yeah, I guess it's my final answer.
Okay, I'm sorry, but humma is not a slang term for hummer. Player two, would you like to steal?
Sure, give me the options again, and you can just skip A. So just give me B through D, I guess.
Okay, B, used to greet a lady in chat, a misnomer for homina homina. C, used to fill space when you couldn't think of anything to say. Or D, a program used to auto-reply to key phrases in a chat room.
Now, part of me wants to say that it's B, but I know that's not. I mean, you don't. If you're in a chat room, you're not filling space when you're not thinking of something. You just kind of let it slide. It's totally okay because enough chat. If it's a really active chat room, enough text is flying by that you don't need to fill in a blank. I can't figure out what I'm saying. I'm gonna go with D, actually.
D, a program used to auto-reply to key phrases in a chat room. I'm sorry, player one, but for the first time, you are wrong. The correct answer is C, used to fill space when you couldn't think of anything to say. It was often used to help, like I said, to fill space when the chat room was very quiet. They wanted the chat room to seem active, so they would just put in a humma.
Wow.
See, me, I talk so much that I would never use that ever. So.
Likewise.
All right, player one, we're back to you. Okay, the term is Netscape, and it was a term commonly used to refer to the web. Your options are A, an insulting name for the Netscape Navigator web browser, B, to chromatically sort through the contents of a web page to extract raw data, C, an online fight, also known as a flame war, or D, when a web page loads with missing or distorted elements.
Wow, those are all relatively reasonable. I initially thought that it was a Netscape dig. So A.
Player one is on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, just a little update on the score here, guys. Player one has 1 point to player two's 3 points. Okay, and we're going to keep going with right back to player two. And player two, the term is Smurf, and it was commonly used on Usenet. Now, your options are A, a user of the forum who is a known minor. B, a nickname for a bored regular whose style is irreverent, silly, or cute. C, used as a general verb, example, I smurfing love the Smurfs. Or D, a popular Usenet client with a bright blue interface.
I'm going to go with D.
D. I'm sorry, player two, you were wrong. Player one, would you like to go for the steal?
Yeah, I'm going to pick A.
You're going to pick A. I'm sorry, player one, you were also wrong. The correct answer was B, a nickname for a bored regular whose style is irreverent, silly, or cute.
See, that was the one thing I never really got into was Usenet, sadly. and I'm paying for it here.
All right, and we're going back to player one. Player one, your term is rehi. It was commonly used in chat. Your options are A, a common response to somebody saying hi in a chat room. B, short for regular hitter, somebody who always has the answer in a chat room. C, a South Korean word for private chat. Or D, a greeting extended to somebody re-entering a chat room after a short absence.
I'm going to pick D.
And player one, you are correct. D, a greeting extended to someone re-entering a chat room after a short absence.
I'm coming for you, player two.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're tying it up soon.
Easy, guys, easy. It's 2-3, so there is some wiggle room, and we've got plenty of questions left. Player two, Your next term is leech. Now, this is just a general term. Your options are A, an activity that sucks up a lot of time for a web user. B, a program that takes up a lot of computer resources. C, somebody who consumes a large amount of an online resource without giving anything back. Or D, a common misspelling of leash.
C.
C, you are correct. C, somebody who consumes a large amount of online resources without giving anything back. For example, someone who connects to a file server, takes all the files, and does not upload anything for other users. All right, okay, we're back to player one. Player one, your term is A/S/L, and it's a common chat term. Your options are A, age, sex, location. B, addition, subtraction, long division. C, age, system, location. Or D, abort, signal lost.
I would like to go with A, age, sex, location.
A is correct. Age, sex, location. People would generally put that in the chat room when they were trying to hook up with another chat room member. Okay, player two, we're back to you. Your term is punt. Now, this is another chat term. Your options are a polite way to say a nastier word. B, a file sharing bot named after the ancient land of punt. C, to place a wager on the outcome of a live event everybody in the chat room is watching. Or D, to knock somebody off an internet chat connection.
D.
D is correct, sir. To knock somebody off an internet chat connection. Okay, just a little update on the score here, guys. Player one has 3 points to player two's 5 points. So player one, you got to catch up here. And to catch up, we're going to go ahead and give you the term spider food, which was a common web term. Your options are A, a provocative statement meant to start a conversation or debate. B, keywords embedded, usually invisible, into a web page to attract search engines. C, a website with compelling and original content. Or D, a query typed into a search engine. And again, the term is spider food.
B.
B, keywords embedded, usually invisible, into a web page to attract search engines. You are correct. That is the correct answer. Okay, now we're going to hop back over to player two here, and player two, your term is kook. K-O-O-K. It was a common term used on Usenet. Again, your weakness.
Yes.
Your options are A, somebody who makes trollish posts but actually believes what he says. B, somebody who posts a reply to the wrong thread making him seem crazy. C, a person who types in all caps. Or D, another word for newbie.
Oh my God. There's so many words for noobs. That's the problem. So that actually could be slightly right, but something tells me it's not. So I'm going to hopefully not eat crow here. I'm going to go with A.
A is correct. Somebody who makes trollish posts but actually believes what he says. Congratulations, that was the one question I thought nobody was going to get. Okay, we're going back to player one here, and this is an acronym. It's YHBT, and again, it was used on Usenet. Okay, your options are A, you have been timed. B, you'll hurt big time. C, you have been trolled. Or D, yellow hue, blue tones.
Oh, man. I'm going to pick C.
C, you have been trolled is correct. Very, very good job, sir. Okay, now player two, this is another acronym. This is capital G, lowercase o, so it'll just be the word go, then AT. So GOAT, again used on Usenet, and your options are A, go away troll. B, go ask tomorrow. C, go act track. Or D, go wave truck.
I'm going to go with A.
A, go away troll is correct. Okay, we're moving into the last few questions here. Okay, player one, your word is scroll, S-C-R-O-O-L, and again, it's a chat term. Your options are a common misspelling of school, generally used by teens playing hooky to chat online. B, a log of the current chat offered to people just joining the chat. C, a learning session held within a chat room. Or D, flooding a chat room with meaningless drivel.
That is... Oh, man. These are all pretty tough. How did you spell the term again? It was SCROOL?
L. Correct.
Man. I'm gonna try D.
D, flooding a chat room with meaningless drivel. I'm sorry. You were incorrect. Player 2, would you like to steal?
Sure. What are my options again?
Your options are A, a common misspelling of school generally used by teens playing hooky to chat online. B, a log of the current chat offered to people just joining the chat. C, a learning session held within a chat room. And D has already been eliminated.
Go B.
B, you are correct for 2 points.
What?
We're going into our last 2 words here for the main round, and right now player 1 has 5 points and player 2 has 9 points. And we're going to go ahead and move over to player 2 here, and player 2, your term is Wibble. It was a Usenet term, and here are your options. A posted Usenet message that mysteriously disappears. B, a too large signature file. C, going back and forth between several conversation threads. Or D, to submit content that doesn't move the conversation forward.
Let's go with C.
With C, going back and forth between several conversation threads? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Player 1, would you like to steal?
Oh, man. I'll give it a shot. That's a yes.
Okay.
What are the choices again?
Okay,
Sorry.
Here are your options again. Again, the word's Wibble. And your options are A, a posted Usenet message that mysteriously disappears. B, a too large signature file. C, going back and forth between several conversation threads. Or D, to submit content that doesn't move the conversation forward.
Oh, man. Wibble. I'm going to go with... Oh, man. I'm going to try D.
Final answer, D?
Yeah.
You are correct for 2 points. Congratulations. Nice. We're 7-9 now, and this is the last term. Okay, player 1, this is yours. The term is bozotic, and again, it's a chat term. Your options are A, resembling or having the quality of a bozo or clownish wrong person. B, take off of erotic, meant to describe a very unusual kink such as the love of clowns. C, used to describe somebody who types in all caps. For example, my Aunt Judy's emails are always bozotic. D, a lightweight IRC client commonly used in the mid to late 90s, one of Merck's biggest competitors. Again, the word's bozotic.
I have a guess, but I want to say that I am going to make a new web service with this name because this name is awesome. Bozotic.com. I'm going to guess A.
Well, you'd be correct then. A, resembling or having the quality of a bozo or clownish wrong person. Actually, in the Jargon file I got that from, they attributed the origin of that word. It's an homage to Bozo the Clown.
Nice.
Okay, and now, gentlemen, it's time for our final round. I'll be giving you an internet term, and you'll both have 30 seconds to write down your definition. At the end of the 30 seconds, I'll ask you to stop, and we'll see if you've got it right. Now, to make it interesting, you'll be using your points to make a bet, and whoever has the most points at the end of the round wins the game. Any questions, guys?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little hint here. The term we'll be using is a chat and Usenet term. Starting with player 1, how much do you each want to wager? Keep in mind, you have to bet at least 1 point.
Oh man, see, if I tell him how many points that I'm going to wager, he'll know what to wager. Can we send you the points? secretly?
Sorry, that's one of the disadvantages of being player one. The advantage is you get to start first.
Brutal. All right. I'm betting all my points, player two.
All your points. So player one will be betting 8 points, and player two? You have 9 points, by the way.
No. Well, let's see. I mean, if I go all in, well, either way, if he gets it right, he gets it right. If he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. So I'm going to go all in.
Okay, player two is going in all in too. High stakes game here, fellas. Okay, guys, you have 30 seconds. Your word for the final round is brain width. BrainWidth. All right, guys, time's up. Submit your answers, please.
Man, I don't think I did it. I don't think I got it.
Find out.
This is a tough one.
Okay, let's see what you got. Player one, what is your definition for brain width?
I thought that it was very similar to like bandwidth, but with brains. So I figured I put brainwidth is the breadth of knowledge of a person online. So it's like a guy has like, you know, a lot of brain width.
Okay, and player two, what was your answer?
So I'm kind of the same accord, except I said the amount of brain power you have to get something, kind of your brain width compared to bandwidth being how fast you can download something.
Okay, I'm going to have to go to the judges to get a ruling on both of these answers. I'll be right back with you. And let me just think real quick here. Okay, and our judges have come back with a verdict here. Okay, the correct definition for brain width is the human capacity for multitasking at any given moment. And the judges have ruled that player one did not get it correct, so he loses all 8 of his points. But player two did get it correct, which gives him a grand total of 18 points. It was a tough call. It was a very subtle distinction there. But the fact that player two implied multitasking, it kind of had to go to him.
I'm invincible.
Good job, player two. Well done.
And that makes player two our winner. Player two, you'll be receiving a hastily drawn sketch of your favorite internet celebrity by me, Bill Meeks. Who are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick Martin Sargent.
Martin Sargent.
Yeah.
Okay, expect that at some point in the future. And, of course, both of our guests will receive a link to their Twitter accounts in the show notes for this episode. Join us again soon when we ask... What the heck does that mean? What the Heck Does That Mean is taped before a live studio audience. This has not been a Mark Goodson presentation.
Meeks Mixed Media offers video, animation, web design and programming, motion graphics. If you have a project involving audio, video, or the web, Meeks Mixed Media can help you. Need individualized attention from a media pro with over 5 years of professional experience? Click on Hire Us at meeksmixedmedia.com or send an email to contact@meeksmixedmedia.com to get started. Meeks Mixed Media. Welcome to now.
Dude, check out my sweet Progs. And welcome to another timey-wimey edition of Progs. I've got a couple really cool Progs for you this week. First up, the prog that allowed this episode to exist. The game show we've just completed was completely pulled from what's called the Jargon file. Now, the Jargon file is basically, it's a text file that is a compilation of all sorts of hacker terminology. To reference one of my other usual segments, it's basically a lexicon for early internet life. It's had a very long life. It's gone back for a while. The first major revision was in June of 1990. Several versions of this document were published as the New Hacker's Dictionary, so if you ever read that, you've read the Jargon file. Now, the last update was in 2003, but there's still a lot of fun stuff in here. Not only do you get basically a dictionary, which is where I pulled all of my terms from for the game today, but you also get a lot of explanation of how leet speak is put together, and basically in elements of style for hackers that, lets you know everything from what words are you supposed to misspell to how long your email signature should be. And it also includes a couple of really cool appendices that focus on hacker folklore and a general profile of your average hacker, from reading to dress to sexual habits to religion, gender and ethnicity. Basically a breakdown of who your average hacker is or was when the file was written. I highly recommend you check it out. It's chock full of history. And you can find the Jargon file at www.catb.org/jargon. And our second prog is pretty fun. Back in the day, when we still dial up on modems, you couldn't download an MP3. If you wanted to download an MP3, you'd have to leave the computer connected for several days, and mom and dad probably wouldn't like having the phone tied up that long. A good alternative was to download what's called a MIDI file, where basically any amateur musician sits behind a keyboard, plays a cover of a pop song or an original composition, and instead of storing the audio data, the MIDI program basically stores digital sheet music, similar to like a player piano roll for the song. Yeah, it basically sounds like Nintendo or Atari music a lot of the time. But before it was practical to download actual songs, this was how we got a lot of our music. I know I personally probably had a collection of probably 900 to 1,000 MIDI files from all sorts of artists like No Doubt and Smashing Pumpkins, Marcy Playground, Guns N' Roses, and of course new interpretations of all those old video game songs because it fit the format. So if you want to go and relive a little bit of the old days of downloading music on the net, you can go to MIDI, that's midi.homemusician.net, and they have an archive with over 5,000 songs. Now, you probably don't need any special player to play these files. QuickTime will play them, VLC, aka Videoland, will play them, and I believe Windows Media will play them too. So whatever your system, you're probably covered. Welcome back. That game show was fun, wasn't it? I had a really good time doing that. I really want to throw a special thank you to my contestants. They came around right when I needed them, and the winner will be getting that sketch sometime in the next week. I'll go ahead and post it up on the website when it's available, too. Today's old website of the week is Your Old Crap Website, 90s web design. It's not an old website. It's only about a year old, but it curates a ton of gems from the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. I'm probably doing a disservice to myself in the podcast by giving this to you, because if I use any of the really great sites he put on here in the episodes, then you guys are going to know where I got them. But the web address is youroldcrapwebsite.wordpress.com, and he basically just browses the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine and finds really funny or really horrible web pages from back in the day. He has some big players here like Adobe, Diet Coke, Cadbury, Madonna, Marvel Comics, which is probably my favorite one. And he provides a lot of commentary on exactly why these are so bad. So again, if you want to go check that out, it's youroldcrapwebsite.wordpress.com. And despite my scheduling issues, somehow I've completed episode 6. This is the end. As always, you can get all our past episodes at oldwideweb.org or by searching for Old Wide Web in iTunes. If you want to be on the podcast, shoot us a 1 to 2 minute audio file with your earliest online memory at oldwideweb@gmail.com, and I'll use you in a memory allocation. I've had some people who I guess didn't read the instructions very carefully who were sending text bits, so you can go ahead and send a little paragraph if you want to, too, and at some point I'll compile all of those into a proper segment and read all of the memory allocations you guys have sent in. Now, if you have any story ideas, feedback, suggestions, Beer of the Month Club memberships that you want to send along, you can send all of those to oldwideweb@gmail.com, or you can use the contact form on the website. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at oldwidewebpod, and if you want to, you can follow me as well. My handle's @BillMeeks. Now, barring any other last-minute cancellations, I'll be back here with you next week on the Old Wide Web.